let's prune this vine. All right, so the first thing we want to do is locate our spur positions that were left last year. So we have a renewal spur on the right down here. And then on the left-hand side, we have a renewal spur here. But as you can see, just there, one bud is fired on the back side and the bud on top has not fired. So let's start. All right. Now that we've located our two spur positions from last year, we need to lock in our new spurs for this year. And we want to keep in mind that we are trying to branch the spur positions out and maintain that sap flow. So on this side, starting with the left side now, what we might do is jump under the other side, get a bit of visual. There we go. So now we have a spur here and a water chute coming out there and a new spur position and then spur down here. I'm going to take this side first. It's a little bit more simple. Now, as you can see, the spur position here, they've taken bud 1 and bud 2, and bud 1 has fired out at an angle almost out into the mid-row towards me. And then bud 2 has fired up. This is a situation where, one, I can either prune it here, leaving bud 1 and bud 0, and hopefully bud 0 pushes straight ahead, or I need to inverse my spur and correct my spur position. For this situation, I am going to inverse my spur position so I can secure the better structure. So you can see bud 1 out the back here, right there, bud 2, bud 3. Because the bud orientation is incorrect, I am going to take bud 3 and bud 2 so that bud 2 is pointing down, bud 3 is up. And then I'm going to rub bud 1 off with my finger. So there we have our new spur. Now, the options are to either wrap down this other position to create the fruiting cane for this year, and then next year we'll make a safe cut to remove that. Or I come up to the old fruiting cane and I can chase another cane down. So the options will either be chasing this cane down because it is below the wire, which is ideal because if you try and chase one that's above the wire, it's going to be a bit hard to wrap it down, or wrap this one. This year, I think I'm going to chase this cane. So make a cut through there, leaving a stub. Cut the old cordon fruiting wire off, fruiting arm off in 3 places so it's easy to pull out. Count out your buds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll do 8 buds. My goal for this block is between 8 to 10 buds per arm. And then on this spur position, I'm going to do a safe cut, crown cut, removing the buds. Perfect. So then we have 1 renewal spur and 1 arm to wrap down. The left side gets a little bit more tricky, so the right side, we've got a spur position and it is pushing straight towards me to the mid-row. We have a water chute here on the upper side of that arm, and then we have a bunch of other water chutes. So if I try to spur this again, it's going to continue to come straight out into the mid-row, and it's really going to do us no good. So I'm going to ignore that for now and see if I can try and get a new spur position from something else. So what I'm going to do is take this one here. It's coming out here. I know it's inverted, and I'm going to use that as a new spur position. Cut it off there. And then I'm going to chase a cane down, or I could wrap that if I could bend it. I don't think I can bend that very well without it breaking, so I'm going to chase this one up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cut through the 9th at an angle to remove the buds, and then cut through the old fruiting cane to remove the others, and then remove that from the wire. All right, so now I have a fruiting cane and a spur for next year. I'm going to remove these water shoots that we don't need, that are in the way. Careful not to knock any of the buds off that I need. Going to remove this spur position that is no longer necessary. Crown cutting it across. There's enough dry back in there to secure that, and I've removed all the buds. And now I just need to take off any water shoots that are still remaining and any dry wood. So we got a bud under here and a bud there. That's our new spur position. Not ideal. Obviously if I was going underneath that would be better, but it will still work out all right. Next year I'll cut this dry wood off once it's dried back, and we'll branch out from there. New fruiting arm there. On the back side, some water shoots to remove. Bit of dry wood. Just careful of your wrist when you're removing dry wood. Can be pretty tough. Sometimes it's good to have a pair of loppers or something just to pull it off, or perhaps use two hands. So you just go through, clean up all the bits of dry wood that you can get your secateurs around, and then that's it. Move everything out of the way so we can see. So it's not the perfect vine, but we're setting it up for structure again. We've got a spur position here, orientation correct. We've done a safe cut down here to remove that other one. We've got an arm to chase down. On the right hand side, we've got a spur position, bud orientation is now correct. We'll remove that stub next year, and we've got a good arm to chase down. Then just go check any suckers. We've got a little one here, still crown cut on that. Never flush cut on your sap flow, so you don't cause a big wound. Always crown cutting.